Hello, hello. Welcome back to another day where I sit in my office in a shirt that is colored like the rest of this room and talk about things on the internet that just kind of bother me. Today, we're actually going to dive into a topic that I have been a viewer of for a long time and, in my mind, a community member of, at least as a viewer, watcher, supporter of anti-MLM content. So, a little background on me. I was big into self-help and personal development. And big into, I don't mean I was like at conferences every weekend, but I was definitely reading the books, hence why I have a lot of Rachel Hollis knowledge, because I was a fan first. I used to read her books. I read Everything is Figure Outable. I listened to Gary Vee all the time, and Tony Robbins, and listen to, not that he's personal development, but listen to Joe Rogan podcasts. And I was very much about becoming a better version of myself because I wasn't happy with who I was and who I was going to be at that time. So, and I say like in the past, but in reality, this was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, really. And I was always unhappy though. I would continually read these books. And I would, watch these YouTube videos trying to get inspiration and listen to motivational speeches. And no matter what, I just wasn't getting anywhere. I felt stuck constantly. And I had a little like boost once in a while. It's almost like taking a shot. And I would feel like, okay, this book made me feel better, or I'm going to try this next time. And then a couple weeks, month go by, and then I would be back to depression. So I didn't realize until I went to actual talk therapy, traditional therapy, worked for me. I'm still in it. I go once a week. I wish I could go more, to be honest. But, until I started to really address a lot of my issues that I actually was repressing by going to these self-help, sources and trying to just pretend like I was positive and telling myself like, you are worthy. It's like, it's hard to say that when you don't feel worthy. So all of that is just to say that at this time of my life, about 3 years ago, I was very susceptible to a lot of these companies. I didn't know anything. I had no experience with, anti-MLM content. So a lot of people in the self-help space, they tend to, and yoga is a big thing. I'm actually a certified yoga instructor. And people in that community tend to be really into this alternative, holistic medicine, which is great. There's nothing wrong with, not giving all your money and giving all your faith to big pharma. But at the same time, not all medical treatments and not all medicine and not all doctors are equal. That's something I didn't know either 3 years ago. And maybe I'm just ignorant and everyone else knows that. But for me, I didn't realize that, being a chiropractor is not the same as being a surgeon. I just didn't know that there was a lot of differences, and not to, okay, and I don't want to get myself in trouble to say like, oh, chiropractors are bad. But I just didn't know there was a difference in the schooling, and there was a difference in philosophy as well, depending on which medical track you take. So just because you have doctor in front of your name doesn't necessarily mean that they're all treated equal. So I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I'm just giving my own story here. This is an example of a time that I was in a yoga class, and it was like a yoga group therapy, holistic self-care group locally, and I really enjoyed it. This is before I went to therapy, real therapy. And we were doing yoga, and the yoga instructor came around and brought us all essential oils and said like, okay, put some on your wrist and rub it together and it will make you feel blah, blah, blah. I don't remember, calm, anxious. I don't know. It made me feel something. And it smelled great. It was like peppermint or something. And, it's on my wrist, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And I asked her later, where is this from? Where can I go purchase this? And she said, oh, I'm a distributor for doTERRA. And I had no idea what that meant. I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I have a special discount where I can get like, I'm a wholesaler and I give like these discounts and which flavors do you want? And I can bring them to you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had no idea. I thought she was just like hooking me up. I didn't realize that this was the whole thing, the whole business model. So I bought 3 tiny doTERRA bottles. It was peppermint, lemon, and I don't know, like eucalyptus or something. I have no idea. Or tea tree. I think it was tea tree oil. And I put it in my little diffuser. It was nice. But it was $30, $10 per little thing. And they say like only a couple drops, but to really smell it in a diffuser, I had to put in like 20 drops every time just to have some scent. But it didn't irritate me or bother me, and nothing happened to me, but I didn't also, it was just like it was almost like a candle, just like a nice smell. Other than that, I had no effects. And then, a couple years later, now I'm, watching this anti-MLM content, and I'm starting to realize like, oh, she was in an MLM, aka not a pyramid scheme, but the system is set up like a pyramid so that the people at the top own all the people at the bottom, and you have to have your upline, downline, any company that has an upline or a downline is probably this questionable business model. So anyways, doTERRA is one of the bigger essential oil companies, and there's basically 2 big ones in the MLM space. You can buy essential oils at Walmart, Target. Those are just regular brands that you can purchase, and there's no strings attached. But the MLM versions is Young Living and doTERRA. And today we're going to dive into Young Living. This is an anti-MLM video, so if you're pro Young Living or pro essential oils as a cure-all for all your ailments, you're not gonna like this video. You can exit stage left, and we'll see you for a different video. Onwards and upwards, let's go. Okay, so this is Young Living's website. So as you can see, Young Living essential oils, and they have a few different products now. They started off as an essential oils company, but they've obviously expanded. They have cleaning, they have infused supplements, food and beverage. I didn't know that. Personal care and clean makeup. Let's see food and beverage. I'm interested. Okay, cereal for $8. I shouldn't say 8. $7.57, called Einkorn Flakes cereal. Okay, looks like the most boring box of cereal ever. So it's $7.57 for a box of cereal. You get about 7 servings per container, so that's 1 week's worth of cereal. And just in case I know the big debate about the FDA these days. Everyone cares all of a sudden about FDA certification. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Young Living products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So keep that in mind as we go through the video. So that was just a random, food item that I had no idea existed. And that's the type of things that you might see in a Young Living catalog. I guess it's not catalogs. You can buy all these things through a distributor. So if you were interested to become a distributor, right? So if you decided I love essential oils, I want to sell them to my friends, I want to build a team that can also sell essential oils for me, and this is going to be a lifestyle, I'm going to make, a lot of money and, do this to change my life. That's what a lot of people end up saying, when they get pitched on this idea of, become your girl boss dream and sell things on your own time and make some dime. That's what a lot of these MLM, pro MLM, network marketing people say to try to recruit members to join. They say work through the nooks and crannies of your day, which it sounds lovely. Sounds like, if you have a full-time job, in your free hour, your lunch hour, and, after you get home from work, between that and bath time with the kids, you can make 20 grand just selling some oils because you're, talking about it on your Instagram story. However, in reality, it's usually a lot more work than that, and you get shamed by your upline to produce because that's how they make money. And really, the money comes from recruitment, because when you become a distributor for any of these companies, most likely you have to buy a starter pack or you have to buy a business plan, and that's the case for Young Living as well. So let's say I was interested, which I'm not, but let's say I was. You're going to go here to become a brand ambassador. Okay, make clean living your business. So they say it flat out, make it your business. It's time to go. So here's 3 steps to get started. Number 1, choose your business essentials kit. And by choice, I mean there is only one, which is actually fairly inexpensive, I will say, compared to other MLM starter kits. Some like LuLaRoe, which was the MLM that did I guess still does, the hideous leggings that got in a lot of trouble over the years. They had packages in the thousands of dollars. So, $29.95 is much cheaper, I will say, much more reasonable. But also, if someone was wanting me to sell their products for them for a commission, I still wouldn't expect to pay up front to do that. Any company that's not an MLM foundation, MLM, type of company most likely will not have you buy anything. They'll pay you to learn the sales tactics and and learning about the product and things for you to go out in the community and sell. MLMs are the opposite. You pay to become a participant in the process. And what a lot of people will say is that, buying this is the true customers of Young Living. It's all people who intend to sell essential oils to their friends. Those people are actually the only ones, or the majority of the business's income, because you go in with the intention of starting your business, you buy a bunch of scents to give out and have people smell and whatever, but you're buying that, so that is the profit for the business. It's not the secondary people who are buying like one, $30 bottle for like what I did. It's mostly the people who intend to sell that actually don't sell as much as they thought they would. So, okay. So let's say I was going to start this and I'm going to buy my business essentials kit for $30. I'm going to turn my passion into a successful business venture. What this includes is a Rise, no affiliation with Rachel Hollis, I don't believe, but you never know. She's always hiding in the corner, just peering her head. Hi guys, what's up? And so that's just a little connection. Rise. Okay. This kit, so with this kit, you'll be able to brainstorm income producing activities that work for you. Stat, I need my respiratory essential oils. Sorry, okay. Excuse me. So let's start over. With this kit, you'll be able to brainstorm income-producing activities that work for you, craft your YL story, and plan a daily schedule of to-dos that help you meet your goals. So it includes a booklet with step-by-step guide with tips, a 90-day planner, a brochure, okay, insights card, bound flyer, and a 90-day trial to My YL, a must-have for building your business website. So it's only a 90-day trial. So I guess after the 90 days, you have to then purchase the website. That's interesting. I wonder how much it goes up to. Of course, they're not going to tell you that here, though. That would be too easy. Okay, so great. I purchased that, and now I'm going to become a millionaire, right? That's how they make it seem on Instagram. But alas, there's some data to go through. Let's see how viable this is. So, because of the law, MLM companies have to post their income disclosure statements, so how much their distributors made during the year. So, just so you know, distributors doesn't mean that the company is paying them anything. Technically, it's like as if you were a freelancer or a contract worker or an independent salesperson. They have no liability. They don't meet you. Anyone and their mother can sign up for this. There's no qualifications at all except for like having the money to buy the essentials kit. And I think that's it. they can kick you out, obviously, but to qualify to do this, anyone with a beating heart and, breathing lungs, unlike myself, could join. So thanks to some movie magic, I took a little snack break and put my hair up. So that's why I look different. Okay, so in between that time, I found the 2020 Young Living Income Disclosure Statement. And this explains basically what the people who are distributors for Young Living earned in 2020. And it is less than desirable, in my opinion, if you're actually trying to make a living. In the Young Living or a real living. Some people will say that people that join don't really want to make a living or care if they make a living. They just want the essential oils from a discount or with a discount, and they have friends who they just want to also push into the lifestyle of essential oils. But there's also people online who say that, if you join my team, it's helping you become financially free, start your business, you're a business owner, and push that side of things. I will say, compared to other MLMs like Monat and Beachbody, this one, the distributors, at least as on the whole, from what I can tell, are less pushy with the business side about preaching financial freedom and how great that is. And they really just love essential oils. They have that element of making money, but they really want to sell the oils. So comparatively, they're not the worst offenders of the MLMs. But with all that being said, let's take a look at the statement. So you're selling oils, supplements, and other lifestyle products. We knew that. Young Living offers opportunities for our members to build a business or simply receive discounts on our products. Whatever your goals, blah, blah, blah. All right. Let's look at gray. So if you join at all, at any level, or you're going to join at the lowest level when you start, your rank, 88% of the company lives here. So they never, or maybe they do get higher eventually, but when you start, 88% of the company right now is at this level. A lot of people, or I shouldn't say a lot, the lowest amount people have made is 0. The highest amount in a year someone's made is $732. And on average, people make about $3. So as an associate, you're making nothing, basically. Okay, so now we're at star, purple. This is 8.5% of the entire company. And this is not salaried employees. This is not people who run marketing for Young Living. These are the distributors who are, the independent contractors. This is what we're talking about here. So the CEO of Young Living makes more than all these people combined, probably. So star is 8.5. The lowest you can make is 0. All right. The highest is $3,000, and on average, it's about $248. So also not a living, in my opinion. I don't think $248 or even $3,000 is going to last very long. And you got to keep in mind that this is the number. This is not net. This is not after all your expenses are taken care of. This is gross profit. So if you spend $5,000 on product and you sell $3,000, you're still negative $2,000. So you're not really succeeding in the business from a financial standpoint. All right, then let's go to senior star, 2.1% of the company, so a smaller amount. Some people there still make 0. The highest makes $51,000, so that's not bad. That's a decent living. Average and median is below $2,000. So that's not great, especially because at that level you have a team below you at some point, or you're selling a lot of product. So essentially you'd be working more. So to make only $1,500, to make $51,000, not bad, but you're not accounting for the hours and, like I said, the expenses. So if you made $51,000 net at a job, you wouldn't have to, you're not paying for your computer, you're not paying for the gifts that you send out. This is like a business where you have expenses. So she could be spending $50,000 on products and things, and make 51,000 in sales. It's possible. And then less than 1%. So the bottom three ranks have the majority of the company. And then the bottom, or should say top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The top 7 ranks account for like 1% of the company. So, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but it's executive through Royal Crown Diamond, red through purple, as you can see here. On average, it goes between $3,800 and $1 million. Okay, and the average out of all the people working for Young Living, on average, they make $283 overall. Now, and the median, which is even worse, they make $0 altogether. That's pretty shocking. So if you lay out everyone's salary, everyone's income from Young Living, and you put, all the numbers in a row, median, obviously, most of those numbers are going to be 0. So that's kind of disappointing. And on average, and you could also say, well, there's a lot of people so actually let's look down here. Okay. An active member is a member who made at least one purchase in the previous 12 months. 56% of all members who enrolled in 2019 did not make a purchase with Young Living in 2020. So from year to year, from 2019 to 2020, 56% did not buy anything the next year. That's interesting. So they either quit the business or they didn't buy any more essential oil for some reason. 70% of all members who enrolled in 2018 did not make a purchase with Young Living in 2020. So that means 70% of the company has either moved on or folded their business or decided to leave and go to a different MLM or something. I mean, that means 70% of the people who come in next time, if it's the same numbers roughly, that means that they are totally new people. Hence the excitement of while they're on social media, like, oh my God, I got this brand new business. Yeah, because that person probably just started since 70% of the business has now left and revolved into new people. So that's 2020's income disclosure statement. It's a little bit buried on the website. So I had to go to the company. And just a little background that I am also learning, there's some simplified definitions that they have on their compensation plan. And customer volume is any combination of volume from a brand partner's personal purchases, so buying oils for yourself, and or volume from frontline sponsored customers. So that's if you're selling to somebody, I think, like a customer, any person. So effective August 1st, the ranks up to and including executive will have a monthly 100 CV requirement for rank and commission. So let's go back to the main page for a second, just to look at this CV personal volume thing. So let's go to the essential oil singles. And for example, I'm just picking a random one, basil. Okay, basil essential oil. It's $34 and the PV is 26.5. So essentially, to get 100 points to maintain your rank, any rank, I suppose, I think, you have to get 100, so 100 points. So 26, you have to buy 4 of these to hit the 100. So 4 times 34. Let's do the math really quickly. 4 times 34 is $136. So it will be $136 a month to maintain your rank. That's if you're not selling any product. So let's say you have a bad month. To maintain your rank, you have to sell at least or buy 4 of them for yourself. Yeah, okay. I guess. And then if you get someone to sign up for the business, there's different things and legs, and this whole thing's confusing. It's purposely confusing because they want you to be confused. So you look at this, I'm like, how do I make money? How much do I have to have? Customer volume, level this, commission level, 8, 4, top 5, 7, generations, diamonds. I'm like all over the place. So anyways, that's that. Okay, here's a good example. So I just searched the hashtag Young Living. Let me know what you think, if I'm being too harsh and critical on this one. I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly, so let's do it together. So she says, I'm so excited. It is so much fun to meet and connect with new people. So she's talking to a group called Beat the Heat August Vendor Sales Event. So she's talking to other vendors, apparently, in a group on Facebook. Let's start today off by getting to know each other a little bit better. So for those that don't know me, my name is Amanda. I was born and raised in Winnipeg, so this is in Canada, and now live in a small town called Workington for almost 8 years. I have an amazing partner and our 3-year-old son. I'm also a yoga instructor and firefighter. Very cool. My journey with Young Living began shortly after our son was born. I had a C-section and was experiencing postpartum depression, back pain. Nothing seemed right anymore. Right around the same time, my partner was diagnosed with cancer and the prognosis wasn't good. This is when we learned that only 6% of cancers are genetics. This became overwhelming and was souring what should be an exciting time in our life with a newborn baby. However, sadly, it took all of this to make me willing to listen to help I was being offered by a friend. Okay. One day, a friend said, try this. So feeling out options, I tried the oils. Well, my mind was blown. They worked. It was the best yes I ever said. Wait, what? It was the best yes I ever said. The lifestyle has since transformed our lives. We love the flexibility that comes with working from home, and it allows me to stay home with Arthur. Even better, we are in control of our wellness. So she's not saying that he was cured of cancer, but it doesn't not say that. So that's the gist of Young Living. One thing I left out, a huge thing that we're going to talk about in the next video, is the founder of Young Living, the guy who created Young Living, Donald Gary Young. We're talking about him being involved in an alleged medical mishap death that happened at one of his medical quote-unquote facilities in the 80s. So if you're interested in this video, I'm really curious to see how this does, if this is a topic that this audience will enjoy. So I really like anti-MLM content. I think it's interesting. I think everyone can relate to it, especially if you have a Facebook account and you are on Facebook or get DM'd on Instagram constantly. These are some of the companies that probably your friends are representing. So it's always interesting to learn more and kind of unpack some of the misinformation that's out there so that you can better understand what these brands are and how they work. And what the distributors say is probably not what is always true, especially when it comes to income. So if you like this video, like it, subscribe, please. I enjoy everyone's comments and I try to get to all of them. At least I read all of them. And I try to get back to everyone as quickly as possible. So I appreciate your time and spending it with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.